The DC universe is in a lot of trouble, and the only thing that can save DC isn't coming out to 2027, The Batman 2, and that's got absolutely nothing to do with the DC universe, as this is Elseworlds. In the mix of an absolute Warner Bros. Discovery buyout. Yes, they rejected the first offer, but another offer will come in, and eventually David Zaslav will give in and it will be sold. It's not the best time for DC at the moment. What do we have to look forward to next year? Supergirl movie. Interesting. Clayface. Interesting. The Lanterns. Interesting. James Gunn has one way of doing movies. He has 3 projects out so far. Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, and Superman. They are all the Guardians of the Galaxy. He has one style of directing, one style of doing movies. All their movies are the exact same film. Superman did not make money. A recent article by Forbes tells us that it was less than $50 million away from breaking even. Peacemaker didn't chart on the Nielsen chart. Creature Commandos did not chart. And when I say this, people say, yeah, but that chart doesn't matter because it's only look at these metrics. Studios care for metrics. It's not like when Creature Commandos and Peacemaker came out that other studios had good TV shows out. Let's be honest. So it really is in a dire way. Now, you can't say this without people saying, you're a Snyder bro. But yes, you can now. Because since the finale of Peacemaker Season 2, everyone is seeing what people have been saying, that James Gunn's universe, it's one-dimensional. All he had to do was either keep Henry Cavill's Superman in play or do a complete, fresh reboot and get rid of absolutely everything. But he couldn't do that. He had to keep his projects in play. He had to keep the Suicide Squad movie in play. He had to keep Peacemaker Season 1 in play. And there's parts of the Suicide Squad, the original, the David Ayer studio cut, in play. There's still parts of the Snyderverse that are canon. No wonder the general audience is getting annoyed and getting confused, to the point where most of the people I know in real life haven't even seen the new Superman movie. So, if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture-based content that I try to deliver on a daily basis. Check us out on TikTok, Warstu, and check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, and check us out on Instagram at Warstu. Right, let's get into it. So, amongst a major buyout, Skydance buying out Warner Bros. Discovery could lead to the end of David Zaslav and James Gunn. As we know, Warner Bros. Rejected their first offer from Paramount Skydance, their owner, CEO David, but the bids are coming. Along with the speculation is what will become to Warner Bros. CEO David Zaslav and DC Studios co-president James Gunn in the aftermath of the deal being finalized. Unfortunately, if one is struck, things don't look good for either of them long term. Now, as a whole, Warner Bros. Studios is doing very good, mainly from the horror side. But that's to do with Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi, who have had their contracts renewed. Now, I read something on Twitter saying that James Gunn's got a 10-year contract. No, James Gunn's contract is coming up for renewal quite soon, and they haven't renewed it yet. So this article goes on to say, Hollywood sources close to James Gunn tells everyone that's what's going on. He may already see the writing on the wall. That's why he's pivoted from the God of Monsters saga to the Superman saga. One is a strong signal that he's been allowed to do whatever the hell he wants until his time's up. So a lot of people said that Man of Tomorrow was building up to Brainiac, but the whole Salvation planet was technically, governed by DCU, and they're building warriors for Darkseid. So realistically, Zack Snyder is the blueprint, and James Gunn, if he gets to finish this story, and I don't actually think Peacemaker Season 2 was actually bad, but I'm talking as the DC universe as a whole, it's not really getting traffic, it's not charting, it's not doing good, it's losing money, it's just an absolute train wreck. And you're going to go Snyder. I don't want the Snyderverse to be restored. I would like to see Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2 and 3 and then be done with it. So this article goes on to say, DeLuca and his partner Pam Abdi are seen as assets after overseeing a favorable, profitable year for the studio. Yes, because they're behind the Minecraft movie, Sinners, so on and so forth. The F1 movie was just distributed by them. So according to a Deadline report, the CEO, owner of Paramount, Dance, is assembling his team and DeLuca is going to be involved. A role for Zaslav could be negotiated, but it looks more like there might not be one on the table. He may have a served purpose anyway, as he would want to offload one of the biggest debts, billions in debts, weighing on Warner Bros. Yeah, they're currently in $35 billion worth of debt. Any buyer would have saddled with that burden. The bidding war. So also Netflix is in the play. Netflix is in discussion. But it's also worth saying that YouTuber Grace Randolph has come out and said, according to YouTuber Grace Randolph, Gunn gave Feige and Marvel notes on which creatives to hire. One example she cites is Peyton Reed for Ant-Man. Originally met with Ager. Reed went to direct the 3 Ant-Man movies, Quantumania being such a big failure that Marvel was forced to pivot to bring Doctor Doom as RDJ back. So Grace Randolph is basically saying, before James Gunn was offloaded to Marvel, he recommended a lot of talent, and a lot of recent talent has really led Marvel down the wrong path, a path that oddly DC is now doing themselves. So she pretty much blames Gunn for the post-Endgame failures. Now, I don't know if that's true, but she does have a point. Before that, Marvel went after track record professional people with a good track record, but she is right. Post-Endgame, they went after literally anybody. In the early days of Marvel, they were hiring more professional people who have had established track record, but when Gunn came in, they started taking risks and lowered down people and basically let anyone direct movies. And to a certain degree, that is true. And I know Grace Randolph hasn't got the best track record. She isn't well liked, but she's definitely got Hollywood sources. So something's going to have to give at DC. This whole plan is not working. No one I know is talking. Even other YouTubers I know are not talking about Superman, Peacemaker, and when speaking to them, none of them actually said Superman was actually that good past, it was just okay. Demon Slayer, manga, a comic book. Manga is a picture book. Demon Slayer absolutely crushed Superman, 650, but it only beat Superman by 30 million. It cost $30 million to make, so it's made $600+ million in profit. How is Superman, one of the most famous, well-known characters in the world, get embodied by Tanjiro Kamado? Although I'm a big anime fan, realistically, Demon Slayer should get nowhere close to Superman box office numbers. Something has to give it, DC. But at the same time, I'm really looking forward to seeing, is James Gunn really trying to build up to this endgame level of Darkseid? Because originally he said all these projects can stand alone on their own front feet. And he's saying, I don't expect people to watch Man of Tomorrow to have actually watched Peacemaker. So why did you set up essentially Man of Tomorrow in Peacemaker? A lot of what James Gunn says doesn't really correspond to what he's actually doing. And had he just not started to use Twitter and responded to everybody that had under like 1,000 followers, then I don't think people would actually feel as badly or couldn't believe what he was saying, because he doesn't really follow through with what he says, and what he says isn't necessarily what he means. Now, I don't think Superman was a bad movie. It was just forgettable. It didn't make as much money as Man of Steel, didn't make as much profit as Man of Steel. And I get it. The Gunn fans are going to come at me going, oh my God, it made so much more money than Man of Steel. No, it didn't. And that Forbes article wasn't an opinion piece. It was based on factual news. Trades don't put opinion pieces out. Trades have always been on DC's side. But something's going to have to give, because no one cares. Supergirl won't outperform Superman. The Green Lantern show probably is the only one that may do well. Clayface, yes, it's a lower budget. Shoot in the UK just like Supergirl did, so they can get tax break back, make 30% back, short on the production value. But no one cares for either movie. Even if they throw David Superman in it, no one's going to care. I really wish I could be more positive about the DC universe, but I just can't, because I don't know what to say. What is going on with DC? It's all over the internet now. It's not just former Snyder bros who are hating on it. I'm not even hating on DC. It's just not looking good. I don't know if the report's true that if they get bought out, that David Zaslav and James Gunn are gone. I mean, it would make sense. I mean, if Paramount buys them, they're not really bothered about the superhero side. They're more interested in the IPs like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, so on and so forth. If Netflix buys them, Zack Snyder's like, yeah, I would continue the story. I don't want the Snyderverse to be restored, but everybody wants to see Ready the Armada Dark Side. Everyone wants to see Justice League 2 and 3, which still could be done. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., his age, Paul Rudd, pushing 6. I mean, there's actors working to the age of 80. There's stunt doubles. They could easily make them 2 movies if they wanted to. And people say Netflix are hemorrhaging money. They have no money. But they've still got 300 million users that are paying like $15 a month. So it's nonsense when you tell me Netflix have no money. It just absolutely makes no sense. So like always, guys, let me know. Am I a James Gunn hater or I'm not? But I think James Gunn's peaked. Every project he works on is the same. Peacemaker, Creature Commando, Superman. They're all the same story. They follow the same tones. They follow the literal same idea of a group of people having to overcome something. And they have some kind of argument or debate. And at the end of the day, they save the day. They're literally all the same projects. James Gunn should have brought other creatives in to do the other project, but that wasn't the case. So let me know, lads, what is going on with the DCU? Who do you want to buy it? I think Paramount's going to get it. Although, yes, they did reject the first bid. No one ever goes for the first bid. They want more money. $20 per share was a bit of a lowball, but they are in $35 billion worth of debt, which, yes, is normal for massive corporations. Yes, I get that. But let's hope someone buys them out, because at the moment, Warner Bros. Is only really doing good in the horror sector. So like always, guys, check us out on Twitter, WSGJ. Check us out on TikTok, WSJ. And we'll catch you in another, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.